All right, I want to talk to you for a minute today about another writing skill called the 8-second theme. This is something that I learned from a book by Too Good that was actually for gaining better speaking skills, but it's a fabulous writing skill, and I've used it and taught it many places, and it's really invaluable. It's a very simple concept. I didn't even bother to put a paper up because we're just going to talk about what this simple concept is. What it means is that every time you go to write something, regardless of the genre that you're writing in, you decide on an 8-second theme. That means that you can actually look at your watch and you can state your theme in 8 seconds or less. Now this is a little bit, what's the word? There's a little of a variable to it, because if it's a shorter writing, if it's a writing that's like a few paragraphs, it's going to need to be a 2 or 3 second theme. The point of the 8-second theme in most writing, even in a book you would probably have no more than an 8-second theme, is that it becomes the core element. You put it at the top of your paper or wherever, and it's your constant reminder of the message. What you're asking yourself is, if my audience doesn't get anything else from what I've written, what's the one thing they've got to learn? What's the one thing they've got to know for sure? And that's what they're going to walk away with. That's what they're going to always remember. And I'm going to constantly tie everything back. It's such a great filter. As soon as you've identified exactly what that 8-second theme is, that's where you make all your judgment calls for, nope, that doesn't fit, nope, that doesn't fit, nope, that doesn't fit. And you can throw out all the things that don't fit. I've worked with a lot of students on their writing. And a lot of times what I get is a lot of disjointed material, like sometimes it seems like it should all go together because they had all those thoughts at once, or it helped fill up space or whatever it was. But really, in the end, it doesn't build the 8-second theme. It's got to either explain it clearly or it's got to reinforce it. So they need to really understand clearly the central message you're trying to give them, and they need to walk away with a very deep and clear understanding of it. And so your 8-second theme is going to stand there, be there in whatever it is that you're writing, so that you don't get distracted. I get papers from students that, I have to just tell them, you've got like 3 papers here. Because you still aren't clear enough on explaining to me what it is you want to talk about, and I'm still not convinced. So you've got to build your argument better and continue to focus on that 8-second theme. If you've got a shorter, like you're writing a book jacket or something, it's got to be, you're going to present a whole bunch of ideas, just expose what that book is about. But ultimately, they're going to walk away with, this is a good book because, and there's got to be something central that you believe that is the most important thing for whoever that audience is. And it can be that this is important, that you get this message across, but ultimately you won't have impact unless, like we talked about in the audience writing skill, unless you've really decided to talk to your audience, because otherwise you're just talking at people and no one's ever going to listen to anything you say. That's one of the things that I feel like is one of the biggest problems with our English classes and writing classes all the way through the college level, is that they really don't prepare people to be influential. They might teach them how to do an essay format and how to, fill out some things like that, but the writing skills that happen in the real world, that's, really increasing your influence. And this is a key way to increase impact. If every time you write, everybody's very concretely clear on your central message and they walk away with the thing that you wanted them to get, then you're a successful writer. You're a much more successful writer than most writers out there, than most people out there, I should say. So, 8-second theme, you're going to write it down. Maybe it's everyone on the planet has a conscience. Maybe it's bluebirds sing the prettiest songs, and so you've got to define what bluebirds are and which kinds of birds fit into the category of bluebirds, and what singing actually is, and what kinds of songs they sing, and why their songs are prettier than other songs. And if you're tempted to start talking about the songs of other animals, then you gotta bring it out, unless you're positive that it's building your 8-second theme. So those are just a few ideas off the top of my head, but you get the idea. Always create an 8-second theme. Now sometimes, maybe you're a student and you have a writing assignment and you're supposed to do X, Y, Z. You're supposed to write up something on a book that you read. And maybe you don't know yet what it is that you really want to say. So that's okay. You can just start writing. Just start writing and writing and writing. But by the time you're ready to actually write something that's going to be a rough draft that's going to turn into something final, you need to be able to say, of every thought that I've had and of everything that I've written here, this is the one thing that I really need to say about this book. And everything else can flow around that central idea. So 8-second theme, say it in 8 seconds or less. Time yourself. Make sure that that it's short and concise and clear, and then use only the material that builds your 8-second theme so that you can have clearer, better, more influential writing. See you next time.